Oh, did I fix it? This is a very good question. Test, test, test. Looks like I got everything except YouTube, maybe. Oh, but that one takes a moment to connect, right? That makes sense. Alright. On to more Hell Is Us, hopefully. Is that... My audio is popping. That's weird. Maybe it's this. Could have been. Okay. Well, onward to Hell's Us. More gaming. Trying to figure out what I was doing from before. I'm pretty sure I'm basically lost like usual. I know I did the secret, I guess not so secret vault, but the one that you needed the code for, from researching all the random things that you find in the world. I still technically never know if anybody's watching this through YouTube, but that's fine. Okay. Alright, where was I going? Just watching my dogs run around. Okay. Now that I have sort of more things, I still don't know where this... Whoa, that was a frame rate drop. Still don't know where the teddy bear goes. Hey, how you doing, Midi? What do you mean? Like, in my chat stream thing? No. Why? Oh, you're making sure I don't hear from you? Oh, you're fine, yeah. What do you call it? Yeah, I've been joining this just randomly, but, what do you call it? Right now I'm streaming Hell Is Us through my... Just Twitch, I guess. Just basically for myself. No, it's actually kind of like a Dark Souls game. Yeah, it's a little bit easier than that, I suppose. Oh, jeez. Yeah, nah. And you don't have to worry, I've muted the Discord audio unless you want to be in my stream, because otherwise I'm just talking to a ghost, it sounds like, but that's fine. I know some people don't. What do you call it? Okay. Damn, it's been a while. I was gonna say since I played Sekiro, but Sekiro was pretty difficult from what I remember. It took me a while just because of the parrying.
Yeah, the problem I have with this game is like, with Dark Souls, like I think any sort of From Software game that I've played, you have a lot of customizability, and in Sekiro you sort of do, but in a way, like it forces you to play a certain way.
Well, yeah, because you only have very limited weapon. Like you have the sword to start off with, and then you just said you got a spear. I don't think I ever swapped from the sword.
Oh, like no, not so.
Oh
your
wait,
prosthetic. Yeah.
yeah, the modification on the
Yeah.
prosthetic. That's what you mean.
Yeah. So I got the spear just recently,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
I upgraded it once, and yeah, just been at the ape, and I know this game kind of pisses me off because I feel like any other From Software game, there's ways to just like I don't want to say like cheese because people say cheese and I don't really agree with it. It's like From Software give you a bunch of tools you can use to play the game, and you can just use any one of them. And in this game, it doesn't quite have that. Like you don't have the rings, you don't have like the like for instance Ryan's Blade in Demon Souls where you can put it on your back and then like if you put yourself 30% health, less than 30%, you can do double damage.
Yeah, and then it's just about not getting hit. Yeah, so
But
as
this one is
much.
like yeah. So it feels like with a lot of bosses, just doing chip damage. And
You're not wrong, because I remember a lot of them. It would be a lot. It would basically be because you regenerate your health by parrying, so it's a lot of just take away health and then you get hurt, defending
oh,
yourself
you
the
mean
entire time.
by parrying or is it from
Was it by
death
parrying?
blows?
From death
I got
blows.
the yeah, because I got the skill for regenerating health from death blows.
Oh yeah, no. Don't. But parrying them makes their stun meter go up, right? Is that what it does?
Yeah,
That's
stagger
yeah. That's
meter,
what it
yeah.
was. Yep. That's what I meant by parrying. My bad. It's been a while since because I played that when I think within like a month when it came out. And I got
So
like
that's
the
an old
worst
game, huh?
ending almost. So
Oh, okay. Wait, you got the
like
worst one?
not the worst, but I got like the cycle continues ending kind of thing.
Oh, does that mean because I never beat the game? Did you have to beat Genichiro and Ishin, or no?
I
Like the
don't
four
remember who that
forms?
is. Maybe.
Yeah, because I know there is the like a alternate ending, which is you don't need to fight a lot of bosses,
Hmm.
but it's like the
I just
I guess
remember I had to
yeah,
fight like the it's like a demon summon specifically from the smith or like or something to do with this the black like the smith, and that's
oh
pretty
okay so
normal of a boss fight, but it was also hard. And
yeah
I did beat it, but I didn't do certain. There's like certain dialogue choices and items you have to find, and I got an ending where it's kind of just like a never-ending cycle, basically. Is what I would put it as. It makes sense once you get to it. There's like 5
mhm.
endings, and one of them might be like the sort of true ending. Like there might be a part 2 kind of game ending, but I don't know. I didn't get that one. I just watched it. I was like, I'm not gonna go through and do that again.
No, not with this game. Holy shit!
No. It's the same thing for like
Yeah, this is
Bioshock 2, also.
it's like yeah, this is definitely From Software's hardest game. There's no doubt about it. Unless like there's just something I'm missing, but no way. I think the
No,
other
it
games,
was having. So I was never good at parrying in the Dark Souls games, except like Dark Souls 1, because the window is very generous.
yeah,
Originally,
I will say I was good in Demon Souls and Dark Souls, and I think it was generous.
yeah.
But also, I
The,
think like those games, bosses weren't as hard. Like, we had this conversation before, but I feel like there's more variety in the boss types, and in like the recent Souls games or whatever, they're all like all about like parrying and then dodging and more about like twitch mechanics than they are about like understanding your environmental or like understanding the boss.
yeah.
I mean, you still have to understand the boss, but it's like more about like you understand the boss through the patterns in their attacks rather than like something more less about twitch mechanics.
Trying to just like not get hit, basically, and then hit them back real fast, yeah. And
Yeah,
roll.
yeah.
I don't know. I mean it's almost the same because since I did the Urge Tree Shadow of the Urge Tree DLC, and
Mhm.
once you there's certain bosses in that annihilated me in like one hit, and it kind of almost didn't feel fair sometimes.
Yeah, that just happened with the Guardian Ape, where like if I mean like it's hard for like in the first phase, he can grab you, and then that's like a one-hit kill.
Yeah.
But it's not that bad. Because
No.
I think that was a little more generous than other things about the boss.
I was gonna say, it's always one of those things too, like once you start realizing what can kill you, instantly you start avoiding it
Yeah.
better. You're like,
It
yeah,
gives you,
I
like,
can't get grabbed by that wind-up animation. Nope.
because it gives you that alert where it's like, I
Hmm.
don't know what the symbol says, but it's just like the red symbols, and it's like, okay, I need to avoid that so I don't get one hit killed.
Basically.
But
Yeah, no. Hell is
oh,
Us
by the
plays
way,
more like Neo. I don't know if you've played Neo before.
yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Not too far, but it's a Tecmo game.
Yeah, it's got that same like attack mechanic where you regenerate health and stamina by fighting and the enemies, and then you like tap the right bumper or like the trigger or whatever button it is on keyboard to regenerate within like a time window. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got that in this game. It's not too bad. What I do like about this one is your weapons level up the more enemies you fight. So it's instead of like grinding out and finding like shards all over the map, you just level them up, and then over time they have like a max level cap based on what level they are from just killing enemies. So that's been kind of nice. It is a bit
I
simpler
don't
in
know
my
how I
opinion,
feel
though.
about, I don't know how I feel about crafting in games. Not
What kind of crafting?
I,
That's
like I guess like upgrades are fine, for the most part, but it's like any sort of crafting. I'm like, I don't know. It just adds like too much. Like, oh, I need to collect all this things, sort of thing.
yeah.
Versus like
No.
not having a crafting, and I mean like all games now have crafting. I can't think of any game I played recently that didn't have crafting.
No, it's because
Unless
a
it was
lot
like
of games want to make there be some sort of progression because that makes you feel more rewarded. And me and my buddy, we really like Project Zomboid for that. Like Project Zomboid is just such a scary game, base game at least, because it's like The Walking Dead. Once you get bitten by a zombie, you are basically 100% dead.
okay.
And in base game without mods, once you die, you just lose that character, and you lose all the skills associated with that character. And those skills take hours to build up, like construction. There's like, I think there's 10 levels to each of them, or maybe 8, and it took me, I think, 4 to 6 hours just of hammering, and you have to get the wood for one, and like the nails and everything too, by sort of scavenging and surviving. And so it took me a while. But you do see the progression. Like the better your construction is, the better your walls start getting built. They don't start off as like shabby texture, like holes and everything. They actually get more health. They look more solid. So it was like, okay, this is nice. The same thing with fighting. Like as you do more combat-based things, you push down zombies easier. You can actually like just kill them in one hit by stepping on their face with your boot instead.
Uh,
And I think there's a lot like that. Those
like
kind of skills.
like Dead Space.
Kind of. I mean, you could already kill them with your feet. It just takes a lot more effort originally because you get tired faster, is what it is. So, yeah, kind of like Dead Space. I don't think you can take off their limbs, but a headshot, like if you aim your character, since it's isometric, and like start stomping on them, when basically your punch attack will turn into a stomp attack, and you can pop off their heads, and that kills them instantly, basically. But you have to also make sure that you're wearing boots, because if your boots wear out and you end up losing, like getting a tear in it, you can break your foot. So there's that. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
sounds very interesting.
It's a hard game, but it's fun. You can also start off blind if you really wanted to. So yeah. You
So the
see with
game's
like
name is
echolocation,
Zomboid?
basically.
So the game's name is Zomboid.
Project Zomboid, yeah.
Okay. It's only on Steam.
Maybe actually. I'd have to check.
Yeah, there's
'Cause
a lot of games people talk about it, and like I just assume if I haven't heard of it, it's probably just on Steam.
Yeah, I don't know, because it was the same thing with like 7 Days to Die at one point. 7 Days to Die was only available on Steam for the longest time, and then they finally brought like a weird beta edition to consoles. Project Zomboid. Is it only on Steam? It looks like it might be. It's on. Yeah, it's probably only on Steam because it says platforms are Windows, Linux, GeForce Now, a web browser somehow. I don't know how that works. But yeah, and it makes sense that it's on Steam because it has a bunch of mods, and which those mods do help. They add more dynamic features to it because originally you could only choose between 4 different weight types, and it was basically like you're super thin, you're always starving, or like you're an okay weight, or like you're obese basically. But you can never lose that in the game. It was always permanent. Like even if your weight in the game did change below the kilogram limit of where you should not be obese anymore, it wouldn't change your perk basically. You'd always be stuck with obese or skinny. And so you'd always have that permanent debuff, or essentially. And the reason why you do it there's debuff perks and there's buff perks, and depending on which ones you choose, it gives you points to give you. If you take negative perks, it gives you points to buy more positive perks, essentially. So it's a trade-off. And but the dynamic, there's some people that went in and modified it, and they made it dynamic, so you can basically, if you lose weight, you'll lose the actual weight and like drop to the different categories between the perks. Same thing with like strength or becoming. There was like a brave perk which makes you less likely, because your character will straight up run away during zombie fights if they get too scared, and the brave perk negates that. They'll just be too scared to fight. You can also be like a vegan and pass it. There's a lot of different perks, but yeah, base game is just, it's rough. We played base game for a while, and we had a good time until it's one of those games. Sorry, go ahead.
Like an isometric isometric turn-based, or
no? It's isometric real time.
Real time?
Yeah.
Is it like real time, like menu based, or is it real time?
Yeah, no, it's real time. If you're in your inventory and your back is turned, you will get bit by a zombie. It will still be moving. Yeah, you got to be really careful, and you don't see them. There's like there's a cone of vision in front of you. That's all. And then if you level it up high enough, you can't, or you get a perk, you can see a little bit behind you. Or you can get, oh, what was it? There's a perk for hearing, and the hearing will let you hear them better behind you, or like around you too. So yeah, it's a different kind of game. It's really fun though. It's the most interactive zombie survival that I've ever played. But it's rough, because base game is pretty brutal. You just, if you get outnumbered by a bunch of zombies, you're kind of just outnumbered by a bunch of zombies, like in real life, if that was actually a thing. So, and then you got to figure out if you can escape, because you can hop fences and stuff. But like I was saying, if your leg's broken or you're carrying too much weight, you are not always successful on your first attempt of jumping that fence. Always. And you can hurt yourself, or like cut yourself in a bush. Well, if you run through a bush, you cut yourself sometimes, and that can be deadly too. So, it's, yeah, it is interesting. I've been waiting for him. The main reason we stopped playing is because originally we played it with mods, like version. It's still early access kind of, or not, maybe not early access, but they keep adding revisions to it, and since they keep adding revisions to it, sometimes the mods you have break, and I had a bunch of mods and it updated and they all kind of broke, so it was one of those where we kind of got stuck. I could have, I think, reset the server to a different version of because they have the betas available basically as branches, so you can always go back, but I didn't know how to do it for the server at the time, so we just lost all of our stuff basically. It was a good time, but we had fun. And I made it more forgiving. Yeah, somebody was nice enough to make like a skill journal kind of, and so you could write your skills down, and I put it to 70%, so you wouldn't get all of your skills back, but you get some of them. So that was nice. And then I also added like an antibody mod, so you had a chance to survive the zombie infection, but it was like 5% either way, or 10. I can't remember. I think I put like a 20% just in case.
Alright, now that I died, I'll look the game up. Project Zomboid.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the next update, because they're supposed to be adding some sort of interface that somebody's been testing that will allow you to have AI NPC raiders, because they don't really have humans right now. They have like events that sound like humans, like helicopters flying and stuff, or like gunshots, that you don't get to see like anybody shooting at you. It just kind of happens, and you gotta hope you don't get hit.
Well, this is a pretty big game. It has 132,000 ratings.
Yeah.
Or like a popular game. I just never heard of it.
Yeah, well, it's also one of those games
Yeah,
where you could do like a server-wide PvPvE scenario and fight other people too. But I don't really like doing that because then you end up having to like log on way too often to try and like make sure that you don't get robbed or killed.
What the fuck? This person has 1,249 hours on record, and they don't recommend it.
That's funny.
That is so funny. Like,
Maybe they
I'm pretty
updated
sure
it.
you got your time for it, even if like they didn't just like were idle a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they had quite a bit of game time. But holy crap, everybody has like thousands of hours in the game. Oh, and this person has 5 hours.
Well, I was gonna say, since it's highly moddable, you can do a lot of things just in base game. And even in base game, I think I spent like 120-ish hours before we finally modded it. And we're like, yeah, let's try adding maps and new locations and dynamic zombie types, stuff like that. But the one thing I'm excited for...
That's interesting. Are games general? Like, is it Lua a typical language that you use to build games?
Yeah, the LUAs, the LUAs, they're used to structure a lot of the files in that game for some reason. So,
Oh, okay.
and honestly, it's a lot easier to read for mods too, because a lot of the mods come as that, like they come packed with the LUAs or LUAs. So, and I got used to that's how come I learned how to mod it a little bit better because of that. I was like, okay, this makes sense. So I even had to fix a mod one time just because it was referencing a string that it couldn't load because of another conflict with another mod. I ended up having to just like delete a string, and I was like, okay. So, however they did it, and the nice part about it is you can link the mods by number, like from the Steam store, and so you don't even have to have other people download them by going individually. As soon as they join, it'll download them all for them, and it updates them automatically. So that was nice.
And it's still in early access? What the hell?
Yeah, basically, they haven't really. One of the things they mentioned is that they want to eventually add NPC like people quest, where you can go around and you'll find, because there's already buildings that are like barricaded and have a bunch of food, so you can kind of like see the hints of a story there of like what happened before you found it. But they want to start adding actual like POIs, basically points of interest that you can go to and actually interact and like do quests or make towns maybe and fight people like NPCs versus just people if you were playing online with actual people. So I know there was a whole mod to. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's a bit confusing because it's been on Steam since 2013 and it's still on early access. I don't quite understand early access anymore, but I mean, if it's just a way for them to just continue development.
I mean, that's basically what 7 Days to Die did for the longest time. They'd been in development for like 10 years before they actually even got a beta is what it was. They released for PlayStation in like beta something like 7 Alpha 1.7b beta. It was such a crazy. They had a train like the whole version train module number. It was a really long number. Build number. Sorry, that's what I was talking about. Trying to say.
Or like Star Citizen.
Oh jeez, yes, like Stars. That's been like 14 years at this point, right? I don't even know, 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my previous coworkers, when I was working as a work study, they had mentioned it back then. This was now like what 24, 10, yeah, 15 years ago. 10 years ago, my bad. 10. So it's been a while. And they had like that was back when they were selling the actual ship bundle deals where you could get your own like custom one of a kind or 60 of a kind ship.
Yeah.
So they had bought one of those for, you know, the promise of getting that custom ship, unique shipping game. So I hope.
Yeah, I had a coworker saying like they got their unique ship and they were very invested in the game. They
I
built
mean,
an old PC.
Yeah, I was like, I played it on my 3080 and it still struggled. My previous PC, I was struggling on that. And I tried it for because they were doing one of the cheaper weekends where you could buy one of the starter bundles, and I bought it, and they offered. I think you had 1 week to play it basically, and then you could refund it. I ended up refunding it because I just wasn't having as much fun as I wanted to for being what it was.
Yeah, I watched a stream of it, and the game itself was not that interesting. What made it interesting is the stream and the people's interactions. And I was like, if I
Yeah,
played this by myself, I don't know anyone who's going to play it, except for that one coworker. And it's like, yeah, I don't know if this is going to be
I had
like
3
it.
friends with me, but
It
the
looked
most
really
interesting
good.
thing we did was it spawned a mercenary fight on a planet for us to go to, and the AI was kind of bad. For it was really bad.
Yeah.
It was more like they didn't shoot very well. I did get downed, but that was just because somebody from behind came up behind me with a shotgun, and so I wasn't gonna live that regardless. But they were very stiff. It wasn't that great. The fun thing that I had was a starship
It had
battle.
like the biggest budget.
Say again?
It has like the biggest budget on record.
Yeah, it had like the biggest
Yeah.
Kickstarter as well as like a massive
That
budget.
budget in general, like nothing comes in comparison.
Yeah, no, it's pretty
At
bad.
least that's what Wikipedia. I don't know if what Wikipedia has listed is true for the highest budgeted games.
No, I'm pretty sure Star
The one that would make
Citizen.
sense like Minecraft because Minecraft has been worked on for so long.
Yeah, but that Minecraft also has mods, a bunch of content. You have like adventure mode where people could generate adventures. There's so much
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
I never even played half of the adventures when they added them because I just couldn't.
I just
It's
don't
just
like. I don't understand like how did Star Citizen become what it eventually became. Like, is there that many people supporting the game? I mean, I
it
knew
was
it
the
was fun,
promise of the
but
time of, space exploration.
I just didn't
With
know like
the
too many like people who are hardcore gamers really into it. Like, of course, I mentioned the coworker, but like, I felt like meeting anyone who was like passionate is kind of rare.
yeah. No, I mean the price
I just
tag
learned more
for me
yeah,
was the barrier originally. I was like, I'm not gonna pay that much. But now I don't have to worry because I was way more
I didn't like the
under
idea of
incomed.
like the whole someone could come and steal your ship and that you paid for, and thought like how hard it was to get back your ship.
Well, they have insurance now and stuff like that apparently.
Yeah, that's like, oh, I have to pay money to get insurance, and
Or you could buy the $1,000 bundle and have unlimited insurance. That's the thing. You can. It comes with a lot of ships. It comes with like essentially a frigate spaceship as well as so Land Rovers, and I think one time it had a mech and like another two alpha, like a speedy single class vehicle and then like a 4-person mining vehicle or something like that. But yeah, I was like, that's kind of crazy.
I'm glad.
I thought about it, but I was just like, no, that's overkill.
I'm glad.
yeah.
How are you holding up?
My Lord Sethras has put me on this path for a reason. Just
I
like
wouldn't be
Paladin,
surprised if it's just a bunch
I
of
will
rich people
carry
who
on.
are funding the game.
Endure
It's like a
whatever
lot of
torment
whales.
Captain Voss and his men throw at me. I will
Honestly,
not falter.
I don't know. I couldn't get into it. Maybe they were supposed to add like Squadron 87 or 86, whatever, the single player campaign, and that I think got pushed back again.
Huh.
Yeah. And I was like, all right, this is just getting ridiculous with the promises and the hold up. I mean, at least they're still developing it because I mean, there's other games that have come up as like being really promising and then they just disappear off the face of the earth, like Ark. I mean, I didn't play Ark Survival at all, but Ark 2, which everybody was like, "Oh my gosh," and then Ark decided to shoot itself in the foot and basically make everybody repay for the game they already had. And yeah, that was not a fun time.
Mm.
And now my buddy's Surge has been trying to start up an Ark Survival Ascended is what it is now server, and it's so broken. I don't even know how. I tried to set it up. I have my ports and everything set up to where I can host servers from my house, which I have a few of them. They're like I have Abiotic Factor for one, and I've been wanting to play it again now that they added 1.0. But all of my friends are in the military right now, in a different country. So the ones that were playing it with me. But I have it set up for servers, and all the servers work except Ark Survival. It should have been as simple as adding it in as a plugin, because there's a Windows game server manager now that it basically works like a Unix game hosting server, which is really nice. And I added it in, and I tried to just do what you're supposed to do, which is put the port to the system port, and then not system port, put the IP to the system IP, and then the port to the system port, and all my stuff's open, but it still wouldn't find it no matter what I did. I couldn't find it through any of the ways that you're supposed to test that it's open. Other than owning the game, which I don't own it, but I could have downloaded it, I guess, because I share games with people that own it. But I was like, nah, I'm not gonna go that far. If it doesn't want to show up, I'm just gonna leave it. But I just couldn't find it. But yeah, we've had a Project Zomboid server, we've had a Ark Survival Evolve server. I was playing Satisfactory at one point, and I have a server for that. Actually got really far in Satisfactory, mostly by myself towards the end. It's a lot of work. I didn't do a good factory by any means. I've seen some factories on YouTube, and they are beautiful compared to the other thing that I built. So, yeah, I don't know.
I've seen Factorio. Satisfactory. Have I seen that game before?
Satisfactory is like a 3D version of Factorio.
Oh, okay, yeah, I've seen it. I've seen like reviews.
You just don't go to space, I guess, because now you can go to space.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I got really into. Am I supposed to go in this game? I have completely lost. Honestly, I'm thinking of switching back to Hollow Knight Silksong because I am not sure where I'm supposed to go. Let's see, Victor's Vigil. I did that already. I don't know what that's about. Return to Gildas. That's fine. Mysteries. There's a door. Yeah, I know that. It's a police office. Is that what I'm supposed to do? I wonder if that's what I need to do.
I can't tell you how many times like the enemy has like a sliver of health and then I die.
Yeah, no, I understand the struggle of that with Souls likes, especially even this one. I haven't died that often in this one, but when I do, I'm like, come on, that could have been avoided. Just because I ran out. Because now, I think in Sekiro, your health also is directly tied to your stamina. No, how much stamina you have, or is it separate?
Your health is tied to your stamina. I think your stamina is tied to your stagger meter.
Oh, okay.
And so if you keep on moving and attacking, then your stagger meter stays the same. And then once you stop, then your stagger meter could go down.
And isn't it also, if you block but isn't a perfect parry, your stagger meter goes down? I can't remember.
I haven't paid attention to now. I feel like I dash more than I block.
Oh,
Then again,
okay.
you were forced to block with Genichiro, though. You can't get around him.
Yeah, no, that game basically just became parry everything, and you can't kill it. Just be prepared to parry forever. And that's why I was comparing it in sense of like a Metroidvania of like Hollow Knight. That 9 Soul game was basically Sekiro and Hollow Knight combined, which was... It seemed fun at first, and then I started getting my butt kicked. And on top of that, there's enemies in that game that have certain attacks that you have to use a specific move, and some of those moves require you to jump into the air first to actually get it to trigger that like animation that can block that unblockable attack otherwise. So I forgot about that. Yeah, it's a fun game.
That sounds painful.
I beat it. My wife watched me. Like, I can't believe.
Remember,
Oh my gosh, that
whenever
took
you
so long.
accomplish good deeds and close time loops, talk
Yeah, someone was talking about the game.
What's our
and
status on time loops?
I don't know if you
Good.
beat it.
You closed a few of them.
It's definitely an experience. I loved it. It has a pretty twisted story, just like Hollow Knight kind of, but it's more obvious what happened in the story.
Is Silksong story centric
Have I
or
helped enough
more story
Hades?
centric than the
The bare
original?
minimum will only
Yeah,
get you so
I mean the
much.
original, yeah, because originally you were just a knight that was part of the void in the vessel that could be filled to stop the darkness, or I guess become the darkness. This one, so far, the story is you were kidnapped, and you are somehow a child of Silk, and that is basically, or like Thread. I think that's the main thing. The threads of, I don't know if it's like the threads of fate, but that's kind of there's an ancient bloodline of thread weavers, and you're basically being called on by them is what I've gotten the gist of to ascend and potentially stop whatever's going on or become the next thread person. This is what it seems like. If that makes sense. I mean, I know once you play it, it'll make more sense, but
Yeah, that sounds more involved than the original Hollow Knight for sure.
yeah. And also, I noticed that in this Hollow Knight, depending on what there's certain items you can get in the game. They kind of feel like armor, like armaments basically. They change your moveset slightly.
Mm.
And you can also like equip different talismans with them, I think is what's going on, because it reset my talismans and I didn't realize. That almost got me killed.
So instead of badges, I guess like the badges changes like how your movesets are, but it's not really.
Kind of. It's
that
like
much?
so my down attack became different, like my jumping and down attack became different from the standard one. And then like my left and right air attacks became different, as well as my up attack. It basically changed all of those, which kind of made me have to reevaluate how I was attacking things. And once I realized that was happening, I was like, oh, I was used to dashing to the right. Now I'm suddenly attacking kind of normal. This is weird. But I got the hang. It just took a moment to get the hang of. And then I think if I could switch back between them somehow. There has to be a way to switch between the different types of badges, or I think they're called crests or seals is what it is now, like the specific move changing ones. They give you like a special ability too. I don't remember what the first one I got is, but I think I do like more critical damage if I do a specific attack or something like that. So far it's been fun though. I just wanted to be Hell's Us because Hell's Us is more of the style of a thing that I want to play right now. I do like Hollow Knight.
I was playing Judgment before, but then I was like, oh, maybe I should play. Oh man, I can't believe it happened again. Like, this is the third time I died when he had a sliver of health. And I'm not talking about like the second form, the first form.
Oh.
I'm trying to just like consistently get to the second form so I can learn the second form better. Because I feel like the first form is like very tedious, and then it takes a while to get to the second form, which is what I want to get to so I can learn the moveset. Because I already understand the first form for the most part. It's just like I get impatient.
Yes. No.
Because it's like, yeah, it's just like I know what he does, but it takes a long time to beat him. And if there was a way for me to like farm confetti, then maybe it'll be easier, but I'm not sure if like confetti works against non-ghosts that well.
Trying to remember. Oh wait, I thought the four masks were always part of the story. Like the four major bosses that you run into as you're traversing the area. Not Hollow Knight, Sekiro.
4 masks.
Or like the four. I don't remember what Sekiro has been. Such a moment. There's like main. I don't know if they're like main gods or what they were, but I do remember.
That's sort of like you're fighting the bosses in order to like push the story forward.
Yeah.
You know?
Because I remember you run into one after you like go through a cave and like a waterfall
Yeah.
area, and then it was like, oh, I gotta fight a major boss crap. I played
Dark
Wukong
Souls is
too. Ugh.
Oh, did you? Damn, you played
Yeah.
all of them.
Oh, so I like Dark Souls-esque games, only if they make sense though. Like I played also, what was that? There's like the humanoid mech one. Where what is that one called? I can't remember what it's called.
Humanoid.
There's Yeah, you have like a weird exoskeleton like power suit.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I have that game.
Yeah, there's 2 of them now. I got through
Yeah.
one part, like maybe 1/3 of the way, and I never actually beat it. So what was it? Nope. Something. No. Well, I was gonna say Detroit Become Human. That makes no sense.
Oh, Surge.
Surge. Thank you. Yeah, the Surge, part 1 and 2.
Yeah. Yeah, I bought those games like really cheap, and like $5 each, and I was like, why not? And then I
Yeah.
never played it.
Well, it's the same thing. I got into it for a bit, but then I got distracted with something like actually that I wanted like 100% play, and then I forgot about it, so it fell into the backlog. Then I got back into it, but then Elden Ring came out, I think. So there's that. Like,
At the time, I was actually genuinely interested in it, but I think it was just a different time. Because
Yeah, it
at the time, I
was.
was like, it would be cool if we got a futuristic Dark Souls, because all Dark Souls at the time were all high fantasy, but now it's like we have all sorts of themes with these Dark Souls games.
yeah, there's. Oh, I need to go play Liza P. I did buy the DLC recently for that one. Liza P was actually really good.
Yeah, I haven't played that one either.
It's
I played all the From Software ones, except I haven't done their DLC. I just skipped DLCs.
Yeah, no, no worries. I don't even think I did Dark Souls 2's DLC properly because I think I didn't realize it was a another boss fight that you could do, like the hidden. What is it? Is it Market? I don't know.
It's funny because Dark Souls 2 is that it was the one game in the series where I rented it from Redbox. I beat it within like a day and a half, and then I was done with it. I never went back to it.
And did
That
that with
was
Jack
like-
and Dexter, not Jack and Sly Cooper 2. My bad. I used the PlayStation Now.
I literally did not sleep. Well, if I slept, it was like a little bit because I was just like so focused on playing through the
Beating it.
game.
Oh,
Yeah.
I did sleep, but I did that with Breath of the Wild when it came out because it was 2017 and I had just signed up to go to the Navy the week that it came out, and I was like leaving in a week and a half, and I was like, I need to beat this soon, otherwise I'm not gonna see it for about 6 months.
The others left with that young man, Atticus. He may have
Yeah, I
good
did that
intentions,
with,
sweet as no, Albin and
I didn't
will
quite
continue.
not
My
sleep or
poor
anything,
Max.
but Guild Wars 2, I
We
was
had to
spending a
leave
lot
in
of time with
such a
it
hurry, we left him behind.
before
that
school
was
started.
yeah.
I pray to Sethris
But it was like, it
and
came
you
out,
cretins haven't
I
found
had
it.
2 weeks to play it before school
I
started,
should've just
and then
set
I
it
was like,
free.
I can't play it after that, and
I'll
I
never
just
forgive
played it all.
myself.
Yeah,
The
it
whole
was a nice
time.
day. I was so into MMOs. That was another thing that was eating so much of my time in the past. Oh, I'm supposed to go this way. This is good to know.
I had a friend who was like really into MMOs, and so I would play one after another with him. But man, sometimes it was like really boring. Because like
Well, I was gonna
we
say.
weren't- because we're just like going from one MMO to another, so you can't
Uh-huh.
really. I feel like with MMOs you kind of have to invest in a given MMO to get to the late game and then actually enjoy it.
And it depends on
The
the
way we were
MMO too, because some of them are kind of the same. Everything's just like a bullet sponge hitbox, and you have a bunch of buttons to press. Sometimes. But I know Guild Wars is like more. You have set up, but you can play with a controller basically. I think is how much more refined the skills are in that one for fighting. Same thing like Vindictus. Vindictus came out and it had the ability for like physics, and you could throw environmental objects at the enemies, and it was just more engaging because they could like you could hit them really hard and they'll like fly and stumble. Same thing with you, is what I liked about it when it came out. But now there's a lot of MMOs that kind of try and imitate that too, because that was the promise of like New World New World was supposed to be sort of a MMO Dark Souls, and then they like they just made the combat not that afterwards. They made it, instead of making like combat Dark Souls hitbox style, they ended up just shirking everybody and giving them normal, just basic hitbox of an MMO. You just swing in the general direction and it hurts it. And I did not like that, but I don't know.
I
I
didn't play
played-
New World, but I did see like a lot of people in my circle at the time were like really into it.
Yeah. No, my buddies bought
but
it and they're like, it's fun. And I was like, are you sure?
Yeah, they got really into it. So at the time, like they were playing that, and then me and another group were playing League of Legends, and I was like, you know what, I prefer League of Legends over MMOs. At the time, I was like, I'm done with these MMOs.
Yeah, for me, my League of Legends was Rainbow Six Siege before it became what it is now,
Uh-huh.
which is just repetitive. Again, like
But
it's
I did join that group for Black Desert Online though.
ooh, yeah. So I'm looking forward to Crimson Desert, because Black Desert Online was fun just because that was one of those like Vindictus where it had the physics and the attacks made impact every time they hit, or like
Yeah.
Blade and Soul before it came to the Americas officially. Same thing.
Yeah.
And now Crimson Desert's going to come out, and Crimson Desert it's a single player from the Black Desert Online universe, and it looks basically like,
I think I've seen the trailer for that.
yeah, it looks really good. It's like Breath of the Wild, but in a more mature sense. Or Teachers of the Kingdom, Witcher 3, like, but you can jump on the dragon and stab it in the eyes, kind of thing. I mean, you could do that in, I guess, Legend of Zelda, it just was cartoony. And then, of course, there's Light No Fire eventually from No Man's Sky, assuming they manage to do that as well as they make it seem they can.
Yeah, I'm getting really impatient with this boss.
I'm
Isn't that good?
100% lost, like, in my game. I don't even know where. I'm trying to figure out where to go.
I'm just like trying to attack more than I should. And
Mhm.
it's like I know I'm only supposed to do 3 hits right here, but I'm like I'm just gonna be greedy.
Try and
That's
get
like-
the fourth.
Yeah, 4th and 5th, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh man, I know I'm gonna take the hit, but it's like just let me do it.
That's one of the things with
Especially-
bosses too.
That's why I get to like the sliver of health thing, because it's like I just keep on going, and I'm like, there's just a little bit more, and I can just get this over with.
There's something else I was playing recently too. Oh, there's a game that comes out tomorrow that's like a first-person co-op, our roguelike thing, which I might end up playing that too.
I don't think I know what you're talking about.
I found it by accident because I was looking at an article that said games that got pushed back because of Hollow Knight Silksong, basically, and I was like, "What is this? I've never heard of this game."
Wait, when you say first-person co-op, is it like a first-person adventure?
Yeah, it's called. Oh, here it is. Moros Protocol, Moros, and it's like a Doomish pixel sci-fi horror roguelike. I don't know. I don't know who it's made by. It's going to early access though. There's a demo. Is it going? Is it going? Never mind. Is it just releasing? I don't know if there's actually an early access tag on this. I have to see what the reviews say. It looks fun so far, based on the trailer, but that's my thing. I've always liked multiplayer games, so that's also a thing that happens. I get dragged into multiplayer, but then my buddies kept dragging me into to a lot of open world, like MMO-ish sandboxes, and that basically kind of killed my what do you call it? My drive for like playing those games. Right now I'm playing Hell is Us. Yeah. But we're just talking about other games in general. Ooh! I forgot there was a new Silent Hill coming out. There's so many games coming out, man. I swear. Because even like Dying Light the Beast comes out tomorrow. I didn't realize that was coming out tomorrow. As well. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was like, Dying Light the Beast, I guess is horror. It's a zombie game now, technically, but you're also the zombie yourself, so there's that. Because you're, the story with this one now is that you're the person from the first one, from the first Dying Light game, but now you've been experimented on, and so you're like half zombie, mutant, superhuman thing, and half not zombie, superhuman thing. Yeah, so it's gonna be a... Say again. No, so the first game and the DLC, you were infected, and then there's kind of like a story arc where the humans at the end of the DLC, one of them basically gave into it, and she was fully aware that she was like a zombie, superpowered human. It was like the next level of evolution, basically, is what it became for them. After they gave them, there was like an incense that's supposed to be controlling their like stopping their transformation, but instead it was kind of metamorphosizing it to where they would eventually become it, but they'd be in control. And so that's kind of what happened to him, essentially, is that he went looking for a cure because he was gonna die, and he only had somebody like turn into it no matter what. Besides, and he heard of like it's like a cult basically that was on the outside of the town that you escape. That's got this treatment. And then you do that, there's a whole story, and it turns out that it's like the whole thing was linked to basically a military experiment gone wrong, and that's what unleashed the virus that turned everybody into zombies in the first place, and it was because they're trying to make a biological superweapon. So kind of Resident Evil. And then yeah, basically. And so there's two options in that game, and one of them is to basically like nuke the city, and that's not actually what happens apparently. They went with the ending that you like get captured basically as turning into a monster, and then yeah, and you get experimented on, and then you become Chris Redfield. I don't know, something like that, or not Chris Redfield. What's her name? Veronica? Not Veronica either. Jill Valentine? Claire? I guess Claire is also, but Jill also became like in Resident Evil. Was that 4? The deal that was there? No, 6. 5? I don't remember. There's one where yeah. Or she gets kidnapped and becomes infected with like Ouroboros or something like that. Yeah. So she's like a super weapon too, kind of similar to Claire, as well as Veronica from like what was it, Resident Evil? Yeah. So there's a lot.
Okay. I finished exam.
Oh, you're kidding me. I just had to talk to this lady. I've been walking all over the place for no reason.
Say I was obsessed with Hadia, it would be the understatement of the year. I've always wanted to see it with my own eye. Something has been happening here for a very long time. There is a dark secret. The world hasn't
it's
been
for it
told.
to mock you, basically. Yeah, I was gonna say, Liza P. They brought it back. They originally nerfed, which apparently they've nerfed the bosses in Hollow Knight's open beginning for Silksong, and I was like, oh well, whatever. But Liza P. had, towards the end, there was 2 bosses. And apparently the last boss was almost impossible for a lot of people. They had to nerf it at one point. And my buddy got kind of... He's like, no, I wanted to play it as the original difficulty. And I was like, I'm sorry, I don't know what to say. I played it within the first week. And yeah, it was hard. I had I think I had all the upgrades you could have. And it still took out my health in like 2 hits. That was stressful. And it's not so much that Liza P... It was, it wasn't stiff. It's definitely a decent game, but it doesn't have the mobility of like Sekiro for like dodging, from what I remember. Because it's also a parry-heavy game. You got to parry enemies to get your health back in that one too, and like when you and I think it's the same thing actually. Just parry them and break their stun meter, and then if you attack them during their stun, it gives you some of your health back, or like recharges your vials or something like that you can use to heal.
So, what's written on the scroll?
I
It's definitely
translated
a
the
pain
text.
from what I remember.
It's a riddle. I suggest you read it. I'm sure it will make more sense once we find a location. Blue flower. The Zeal server
Oh, I
is
love
giving me
Neo.
the usual encyclopedic answer. It's not providing me with a specific location. The drawings are landmarks, and the blue flower is the key to finding their location. Whatever this place is, it's a well-guarded secret. I'm sure it holds the clues to Vitalis' investigation into stopping the calamity. I think it's time for you to chat with the locals. Talking isn't your strong suit, but someone must know where this flower grows.
Well, yeah, Night Rain was all about getting to the action quick and give people that like adrenaline rush, as well as removing the limits from what everybody kind of wanted from the original Elden Ring, where it was like full map open, you're with your friends from the start to the end, and also just the gear switch up, which beating that one was a pain too. You reminded me of the first time I beat the boss. That was so stressful. Like the main boss, the final like story boss. I was playing Duchess, and Duchess is nice because she has the really nice dodge with like more invincibility frames and stuff. Especially if you get the ability while you're in the match to extend the frames. There's like there's a perk you can get that gives you a bigger dodge window, essentially. We got the same thing that you're doing right now, where you're getting it down to a smidge of health. But I was the only one left alive, and I only had enough health. I had enough health when it started to maybe kill it, and I had like 2 flask. But I messed up at my timing, and I ended up at 0 flask and 1 hit away from death while everybody was down. And the only thing that Duchess gets is an ability to turn invisible. She doesn't get like an actual, well, turn everybody invisible. She doesn't get like what the other people get, which is they get like an actual attack that can either revive their teammates and hurt the boss. So I was just basically dodging for my life, trying not to get hit by any of the frames of any attack. So I could turn invisible to revive the Viking to kill the boss to help me. And every now and then I go in when I knew I could attack at least once to get like a little bit of health out of it to maybe kill it by myself. And I ended up reviving my teammate, and then the boss immediately targeted them since they weren't shrouded, and then that attack was the final attack that actually got me. And they hit my teammate too, and like could have killed them, but thankfully I guess they immediately got up and used their special ability, and took out the boss. And I was like, that would have been the worst loss ever, because we were so close, and I could have killed it, or you could have killed it, so we could have just lost. That was not a fun time. Elaborate consideration. Yeah, it was not.
What should I do now?
Someone must know where this blue flower grows. It might be better.
Yeah, and that kind of happens after a while too. You start getting kind of like out of it, essentially.
This one just feels like so tedious. It's like I need more attack power. My attack power is at 6, so it's not like a little bit or anything. I don't know if I can get it up anymore.
Oh, is this the one in the? I just looked up who you're talking about, in the heather fields or whatever, like the flower fields.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the first time you fight him.
Oh gosh, I do remember this. Oh no, I remember having to parry a lot. Yeah.
The second time it's more painful
Uh-huh.
because you have to fight the baby monkey too.
Yeah, I do remember this boss fight. And I do flashbacks. not fun flashbacks. And it was like the only thing you could do with that, because there is like some side missions you can do in Sekiro from what I remember.
Just make sure you have enough materials.
Yeah, I entirely skipped this boss, and
Do you know where this flower
it was not
grows?
intentional. I was just like,
Abba
oh,
Jaffa
now
might
it's
know.
time to do this boss.
The priest said the Patham Abbey produced mead.
Already fought like
They
the
set up their
monkeys
beehives in different parts of
the monk,
Umberhan. It's
and
pretty damn good stuff.
Genichiro.
I used to steal some back in the day.
Who else?
It's a long shot.
I
but
did do the
you never
side
know until
boss,
you
the
ask.
butterfly.
Besides,
Yeah.
I think seeing a friendly face would do him some good.
Yeah, as soon as I saw the typical like heather fields, I was like, oh, yep, nope, I remember this. This hurts.
No. Yeah, it does kill me
I'm
that
glad
like
to
this
see
fight this
you
boss
again, my
twice.
son.
I will be right back. I'm gonna go check on something. My wife just called out the dog, and I want to know what they did.
I'm gonna go downstairs as well.
Okay, yeah, I'll get on with some water while I'm away.
Jalen, you've been going crazy.
Okay. Let's get back into the music. Can I hear myself? Oh, I wanted to check something.
All right, I'm back.
Yeah, me too. I was just figured out what it was. Apparently, the dog started eating my wife's sketchbook, and she got after it.
Oh damn, really?
Yeah,
Going
thankfully it
after the
didn't
ball?
take too much out of
What
it.
was
It
the
was just the edge.
Well, it's funny because I was on Live Stream Fails today. And I usually don't go on the subreddit, but one of the top ones was like a girl was like streaming and the dog started like eating her ponytail and she couldn't get the dog to stop. And I was like, holy crap, that's terrifying.
Yikes!
It feels
Eating
like it
their
was amazing.
ponytail?
Yeah.
That's new. That's one way to get your
Well,
humans' attention. Just eat their hair.
I mean, the rest of the live stream fail wasn't any more like terrifying. Most of it was about Charlie Kirk. So, I mean, that makes sense right now. The whole news cycle is about him.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot going on in the world right now.
Yep. Today was the FOMC meeting. Which was for like the rate cuts.
Oh, right. Yeah, I did see that. That they were lowering rates for some stuff. That's what people are hoping for. Yeah. To kind of like bring up, yeah, spirits. Whoa. Never had that happen before. My game just hung apparently and crashed while I was talking to an NPC. Interesting. Yeah, there's been I get to talk with my my manager soon, just because I posed the idea of applying for some internal positions that are open right now for IT managers, and it's a just mostly a conversation to discuss where I want to go goal-wise with my life now, basically, and also maybe getting their support in applying for these positions, depending, because they're also technically a level skip for me. Like I'm a level 3 in my company, and it would be a level 5 to go to a manager position. So I gotta see if that's even possible. He said it could be pretty hard, and I was just trying to figure out why. I guess unless I just wanted to keep it with seniority, but technically somebody from outside of the company could just join and become a manager, as long as they had some managerial experience versus inside. So I was like, I don't know. Gotta figure that out. I mean, I don't think you can go to a level 4 as a managerial position, because there's also something called like an L code for leaders or managers. Oh, that's true. Yeah. I could try and go for level 4, because it's about that. I think it's like every 2 years technically you should be able to go up. 3 years, something like that. Which he's something like that. Mm-hmm.
Ew. And I'm like, maybe I should just taking the senior title so that like any position that I got, like at least I had senior in title, so it makes moving up and then just like positioning myself as a senior much easier.
Yeah,
Because
and I
just
figured out what the
because-
title for mine was. It's staff, so it's like senior and then staff is the next one, or staff senior, and then I think you go like manager and then manager like senior, manager senior staff. I don't remember how it works, but because I remember we were talking about that before.
Yeah, I did mention like for my job, it's like they have lead.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of my coworkers recently mentioned that he was like a principal at like one of the meetings, and I was like, oh, I didn't even know that. It doesn't say you're.
Oh
Like,
yeah, that is
could I
a
look at-
thing.
I'm glad.
I'm
So I think
guessing
I've seen that
principal would
too. I don't know what it would be. It's got to be pretty high though, because for our, I think I've seen it maybe either in this job or a different one. It was like principal staff, and I was like, what is a principal staff?
You know where this
How high is that? Yeah.
I know this flower very well.
How much money is
My
that person
brothers
making?
and I produce mead at the Abbey.
Probably a lot.
Together,
I looked at the-
honey we set
Since
up
now
a
they have to
beehive
list
in
it
Lake
depending on
Simon,
where you're
this
going to be
flower
working
blooms.
for the pay range for a manager, and it was 130 to 210,000 or something like that. And I was just looking at it, and I'm like, I can do that. Maybe, who knows? But it's one of those things where it's weird too, because I feel like being a manager in some cases is sort of. I know you go to a lot of meetings, you have to take a lot of notes, and you have to be responsible for your team and all that. Because I've learned all that with just PMP and the trainings and being part of an agile team now and slash Kanban team, and like just learning the inner workings as well as now being put into a side task to help out as like a lead for a different. The person that I'm leading a project for was an actual manager, and like a different on a different. There's so many different IT managers now I think about it, but they were originally IT managers. So I'm filling for somebody's position for a project that they were doing as an actual IT manager. So don't know what happened there. They got a different, more I guess entertaining, better role for them is what they ended up going to. So it's like I'm little by little being set up, which I'm thankful to learn more managerial things, like give more talks and talk to higher management, talk to people, and like get details and projects. I have the knowledge because of the CISSP certification already, but that's more for like engineering roles and like IT, cyber, or CISO apparently. I don't want to go that high though. That's a lot more responsibility than I'm ready for at the moment, unless the right job comes, I guess. And that's why I'm trying to also get PMP, because PMP with the CISSP would be more of a combo that I think would be okay for poising myself more towards managerial, essentially, instead of
It's really
fully
somehow
cyber.
like software development is so different from IT, or like
Yeah.
that side of because
It's
like
quite beautiful,
certifications
but who knows what
in
state
IT
it's
versus
in
like
now.
software engineering. We don't have any
Lake Simon
certifications.
was
Mm,
where
you
I was
kinda
born,
do,
my niece
but it's like,
Rebecca.
you know,
Yeah,
yeah,
It's the perfect place to
DevOps
study.
and like
that's-
just learn languages, sort of.
but yeah, outside of DevOps, there really isn't. And then even for DevOps, I don't think people ask you like if you have like an Azure certification. They just ask if you've been working with it.
Yeah, as long as you know how to do the language.
Yeah, I don't think anyone asked for it just because of like how the rest of the team is. I don't think in DevOps they asked for it.
No, and DevOps is still, or now it's Sec DevOps, security with development operations, to make sure that you're doing things securely in every iteration. So, which that's security is always supposed to be there. It's just everybody doesn't always implement it the right way, or they don't want to because it's expensive sometimes versus the alternative.
Are you gonna let my uncle go?
Yeah.
Hi, are you okay?
I ran out of
But
food,
I had to
now
do a
it's
Sec
in the
DevOps
bottom
train,
of the
which is
lake.
funny because CISSP talks about secure DevOps as like one of its sections. I did not pass the Sec DevOps training they gave and the little certificate they gave.
I think somebody tried hiding there. I guess they weren't as good
Not
as
for
I am.
not lack of trying, it just wasn't you could have cheated on it basically. Because it like I didn't even know there was gonna be a certificate you could get either. But they trained you on it, gave you the slides and like all the things and keywords, and then there's like an exam, but it was an exam that told you not to cheat, but it also left you in the room by yourself with nobody watching you.
Oh yeah, that one. You did mention
So I
that
was
one.
like, this is really credible. This is the equivalent of like I could just getting a book, you know? Which at that point, there's other certificates that do Sec DevOps, and they let you do open book. And you might as well do that, just because that's what people are going to reference either way. Standards and guidelines for security DevOps, whenever they don't know, or ask somebody that does. So,
Do you know where
to help
that
them,
flower
you know,
grows?
with it.
Yeah.
Or make sure they understand how to implement it properly.
So beautiful. Uncle Jaffer brought
There's
me
also
to
more
his
credible
garden.
organizations,
He
I
showed me how
guess,
to
too.
collect honey from the hives. It's where Uncle Jaffer wanted to take me before the soldiers
yeah.
took him away.
Yeah, for that, I did pass the fundamentals of cloud computing from Amazon, so that was nice. I have the basic knowledge of clouds.
Oh, they have like basic intermediates.
You can go for more actually. So the first certificate they gave us was free, which was nice. And then now if I want to take another one, it's like 50% off any future one that I want to take. So you can go from the basic cloud, Amazon Web Services, cloud basics, to like intermediate, and then you can go into specializations. Like if you want to go into cloud engineering, I don't remember what they were, but they do have specific tracks that can get you more into a specialization in cloud, a specific type of cloud related field, instead of just like the basics in general. Or you can go for like overall advanced certificate, essentially, that goes into more depth about different types of like Amazon S3 buckets and the different types of like the very specific types of offerings they have for business. There are so many though. I think one of the test questions was like, how many products does Amazon offer? And it was like over 1,000. So yeah, there's a lot of different cloud-based services they offer. The one they went into the most of was just the different types of storage types they have for either deep storage of data and how often you're going to pull it out, and like the price ranges between how much it would cost the organization, which it starts off and it sounds nice because it's like 0.0 something cents depending on which one you choose, but then there's like caveats to it for some of them, where if you're storing data for an X amount of time in this deep storage but you don't have a specific version of it and you end up having to pull it out earlier, then it costs more to pull it out earlier than when it has to come out of like deep storage, versus keeping it in there for like a year and then pulling it out would be cheaper. The data. I was like, okay, there's a lot. This is very customizable. That makes sense. But yeah, there's a lot. It's just like anything else. There's so much more to learn than you think there is, and it depends on just how deep you want to dive into the woods on it.
Yeah. Remember, like for AWS and Azure, whenever I did my own services on there, I didn't really keep track of my costs, and then they would skyrocket, and I'm like, oh man,
Yeah.
I lost all my funds. And then
Yeah,
for
I
Amazon, it's like, well, they give you a bill, and it's like, okay, I'll just close my account. I'm not paying that.
Yeah, they give you a bill, and depends on what you're using. There's even like there's a service called Spare Space Available, essentially, and so any space that somebody isn't utilizing on their cloud service that's free, if it's open, it's like the cheapest one,
Shit.
and they were saying that would be best if you're like running equations real quick, basically like super simple like functions, because it'd be super cheap. And then it would just take that a little bit of space to use it, and then but the only issue with that is that if that space becomes needed, then they'll terminate your whatever you need it for. It'll take it away from you basically and give it back to the priority customer actually paying for it.
Your brother?
So
Hmm.
yeah. But if you're just like running simple equations and like functions, then it makes
His name
sense.
was Vitalis, but I'm sure you knew that already.
So it's like elastic.
Yeah, it has
Sure.
scaling. A lot of them were about scaling
Why
too.
didn't
I'm
you
like,
tell me he was your father?
You didn't ask.
that's crazy. How much in depth there is to
Here
the
I
cloud
thought
stuff.
You knew nothing. I have 1,000 questions.
But I learned the
I'm-
basics.
A lot
Pump the brakes.
for
I was born
customizability,
here,
and a
but
lot
I
of it
grew
I
up on
don't
the
need.
outside. Spent
Mhm.
years
But it
trying
would
to
be nice if I did have like
Why did you
more
come back?
leeway
Like
into
you.
what I can
I had
customize
1,000 questions.
in Azure from my job. Right now, I have to like go through a lot of like I have to make it tickets to be able to make any sort of change. And then it's not even like server changes. It's like something really basic.
Okay,
I was just need to
that
make
makes sense.
before it.
I was like, yeah, right now we're going through and they gave us leeway to use a coding AI. And right now it's like in beta, so I saw the cost for like every query you make, depending on what it has to craft you for coding.
Mhm.
And it starts off in the cents and then it gets exponentially expensive. But right now, I'm not having to pay it. So one of the taskings I got from my manager was to kind of lead and see how we could utilize it for our business unit, and I guess our business unit, and build something with it. So I'm trying to figure out what we can use it for, because there's plenty of ideas that have been floating around on how to improve processes for our for what we do, I guess is what I could say. And I'm just trying to figure out what I can get it to do. I made it so I made it make a just as a proof of concept, because I saw them do it whenever they were giving the example of it. It made a snake game, like a fully playable snake game, just in HTML5 in a single web page. I don't know how it did that, but it combined all the classes and everything into one document. And it was fully functional. I was playing it as proof of concept. So now that I know it can do that, I need to figure out what we can utilize it for, because when it comes to what we're using under my business unit, we're not necessarily doing what they were doing, because they were talking about like they had some web pages for uploading files as part of their processes, and so they used it to essentially revamp that web page to modernize it, but still have the same functionality as before, instead of looking, because originally it looked like it was from like 1990 Windows XP is what they showed. And so they basically updated the interface to give it a more modern look and also respond faster as well, because it was basically just never changed because it was good enough and it didn't need a lot of change, but then to put the effort to it, which is kind of like, why would we do that? If it works, it works, you know?
Yeah.
And so that was the example they gave. I'm like, well, I'm trying to think like, what do we have in our processes and day to day that we could actually modify with it, essentially code wise, because we don't do a lot of user interface coding from what I remember. A lot of the stuff we get is kind of like commercial over the shelf software, and then somebody else modifies it and then we apply patches to it essentially. So I'm wondering if I could use it to try and like, they've been talking about wanting to automate web application archive files that we get for every patch update for those like major I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this, for the major turnover like to production, because they go through, you know, the cycles of DevOps or the software development lifecycle, where it starts off in, you know, to development, and then it gets tested, acceptance, and integration, and then integration, acceptance, production. And right now we're doing those for the most part manually, from what I remember, because I've had to create a few web application archives manually. But there is notes like in the documentation provided for it of how to create it with a silent like install web browser. And so I'm wondering if I can utilize the AI that codes to figure that out better and actually make it work for us, so we can do it that way. So you just kind of click a button and input some fields and it does it for you without you having to do the guesswork. So
Mhm.
I don't know. It's going to be one of those things. Or the other thing I was thinking, if we have a business continuity requirement every year to do a business recovery exercise, and in the past they've done simulations like tabletop or like not kind of tabletop simulations, but over talking about scenarios essentially. And I was like, what if I get it to make a D&D game for the outage? That would be great. Let's make it fun. But I have to figure out how to word that because that's definitely a lot of. First off, I have to learn the entirety of how my organization's portion of the network works, as well as the systems and how they interact between like the main web servers and the sub load balancers, etc. Which I do know it to an extent because I have to restart them for maintenance, for production and like acceptance and everything. But also I don't know what they're connected to externally, like when it comes to if the main site went out of like had an outage, what exactly would we potentially lose, and who else does it involve besides the admins and like at the site level, you know? So I was thinking about that. But that would be something really cool to make if I could actually get it to write either like a flashcard based scenario, deck game, something, or just something that you could actually utilize.
Is that like for tracking purposes or?
It's more for finding out how good our actual business continuity plan is, essentially. And it kind of could be for tracking purposes now that I think about it. Because we're supposed to do an annual, because it's per government requirements, you're supposed to do an annual, unless you have an actual outage that can count. If you don't, you're supposed to always have at least one annual test of your disaster recovery plan, essentially. And it just depends to what extent they want to actually do that, because some people want to go, let's turn off production and see what happens. But obviously, if that happens and you don't actually have the failover properly, you're going to find it real quick. Also, it's going to cost a lot of money to some people, obviously, you know? So, it might be better to create like a tabletop scenario to consider all that instead of potentially shutting off production for real and trying to back up on acceptance servers or duplicate production servers depending on what's available. So I was thinking about that because there was talks at one point of actually doing a full like outage tests, and everybody was like, that's gonna be interesting. And I just joined, so I was like, well, yeah, that's gonna be, I don't even know how this works. So this is gonna be really interesting. In the vicinity of the reservoir.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Unlike, I was gonna say, unlike Amazon, where like they have 99.9999% downtime. So if something goes off, you don't really notice it. Except in the case of Steam, where Steam was basically taken down when Hollow Knight Silksong released. Which I didn't even notice that because I was working all day.
I didn't hear about it. If it was.
Oh, it went.
I'm on traffic on this night.
It struggled, yeah, during the release window to keep up with demand. And there was a bunch of memes about it, or like TikToks, I guess, I don't know. Whatever they are now. Because my wife showed me one that her friend sent her, and I was like, oh, was it down? I didn't know that. That's cool. Perks of not being a tent waiter, where you're just waiting for it to happen. I mean, you couldn't pre-order it either, so there's that, because it was stealth dropped and there was no pre-order or like buy a key ahead of time thing.
It's
What I
interesting how
do-
many sites get put on Twitter and then the site just goes down because it can't handle the traffic that comes in.
Yeah. I was gonna say, The only thing I do regret is that it became available on a Humble Bundle like a day and a half later for 20% off, since I have Humble Bundle choice. I was like, it's too late now. I already played more than 2 hours. I can't get Hollow Silk Song for slightly cheaper.
How much was it going for? Because the game was already 20, so Humble Bundle.
20% off because I have choice, so it would be like $14.99. Just $5, but hey, $5.
For 25% off?
It's 20, I think. Let me see.
Oh, so it's like $15.99.
Yeah, Silk Song. $15.99. Yep, and that's not including taxes, so it'll go up. But yeah, with Silk, does it say for Switch? No, it says DRM free though. That would have been the better buy if they give you it DRM free. Neat. Also for Linux, Steam, and Apple, or I guess Ubuntu. That's the Penguin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Humble Bundle's nicer because you get a DRM free too usually, and you don't get stuck to having to get it on Steam only. But it does give you a Steam key too, so that's nice. But there's also the issue that I have too many games now because of Humble Bundle, so...
Yeah, it's funny because I do have like over 100 games on Steam, even though I don't really use Steam all that much. Just because of Humble Bundle.
Yeah, that's...
Especially back when they used to give like a lot more games than they do now. Like every time I see Humble Bundle now, it's not as like... I feel like it's not as like much of a deal because before it's like you can just pay $1 and you get everything, but now it's like they have tiers to it.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say it's like pay $25 usually and get everything, or then you pay like 10 and get like 3 out of the 7 or 9. Yeah.
Yeah, before it was just like pay anything and you'll get everything.
Some of them are. I know like Yogscast was one of those. Like it was like 100 or 90 games, I can't remember. But they did it through Humble Bundle one time, where they had like a Christmas thing before they switched it to their own site, or I believe. I already forgot what Yogscast was about. I just knew that they gave games, so.
Oh, aren't they like the ones who they became popular because of Minecraft?
That might be true. I can neither confirm or deny, because I
just have a bunch of guys on YouTube playing Minecraft. That's all I remember from them. And it was like over a decade ago.
Yeah,
I like saw
say.
the videos. They could have been more than that. I would assume at this point they probably are.
Yeah, I was gonna say, for me, I've always been a person that like plays games, watches shows, but I never actually watch streamers that often, or at all, just because I'd rather play the game in most cases.
A lot of times it's mainly me like doing something and then having the stream in the background.
Yeah.
I'm never like just dedicating my time to the stream.
No, and then since I added Twitch drops, I just basically like open them up in a window, mute them, and then get my drop and leave, usually. Depending on what it is, because some games had some okay Twitch drops.
Oh yeah, like the beta keys or whatever.
Yeah, the beta key for Battlefield 6. Some of them give like unique clothing items or like a cosmetic pet for free, or in some cases they give you, like for War Thunder, you can get skins for vehicles, as well as like a day free of golden or premium, which is sometimes worth it depending on what you're trying to do. You can do a lot in a day if you actually decide to play all day. So I'll do that every now and then and just play for a day instead of buying it. Interesting. I died in that too.
Enjoy watching Minecraft streams just because it's a lot of like people's creations that I like looking at.
Oh yeah, no. I can never build as much nice things in creative games like other people can. I've tried, and I'm just not like a three-dimensional artistic person, I guess. When it comes to, I think the best thing I did was Valheim. Yeah.
I just don't have the time.
Well, one time back, like I think it's 6 years ago now, when Valheim came out, and Valheim was like being really praised for being like a castle building simulator, essentially, because it had really nice mod. You could build really nice castles really easily, or like houses, like Viking stuff. We had somebody join, and they built us like a full-on. While we were sleeping, they built us a full-on like cathedral with like an iron throne and a feast hall and a mead hall overnight, and I was just stunned and also scared because I was like, I can never be this good. What the heck is going on here? So, and then that was back when they had a bug too, which was even better, because there was a bug where certain blocks would decay for no reason, and if it was usually the stone ones, and what happened was one of them decayed enough without us realizing that it broke, and that game is all about structural integrity on all of its blocks. And so, so we just woke up and the meat hall was falling apart. It was a good time. It also dropped an insane amount of items that we were not prepared to hold. That was crazy. That dude did too much work. I don't even remember. His name was Unga Bunga. I remember now.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Built a whole cathedral. Unga Bunga.
Yep. And they were like, they knew the game so well that they could fight the world serpent barehanded, apparently, on a boat in the water. And I was like, that's some dedication. And yeah, no. But they proved it, because so to build castle, like stone decorations and like candelabras and everything, you need iron. And iron is in the frost area, which means within 2 days of joining us, they had basically accelerated all the way to like the 5th difficulty level in the biomes and gotten enough iron. I feel like they were hacking, to be honest, to like build all of that, and it was a lot of iron. It was a few hours worth of iron that popped off of all the stuff that we had to take apart because it was falling apart. Yeah. And I don't remember. I don't remember what happened. I don't even remember how they joined us. I might have opened the server by accident to the public at one point. It was like, yeah, you can stay, basically. But it was a fun
I think
game.
you're right about the second phase. Like, you have to parry.
Yeah, I remember. I remember it got a lot easier when I just accepted the fact that I'm going to need to parry this dude.
But I think I'm passing out right now, so I'll just deal with this tomorrow.
Sounds good. I understand that.
Yeah.
I
did get Kingdom Come Deliverance in the mail, so I have to figure out like if I'm just gonna wait on playing that or.
The first one or the second one?
Second
I
one.
assume. Oh, jeez. Duh. I still haven't beat the first one, and I got into that one too because it was actually kind of fun for the directional combat and everything. Once you get to the part where you actually can be properly trained in directional combat, and then I tried to play it because I forgot about it and came back, and I was basically just stuck because I did not remember how to do anything like guard properly, and I was like, I'm gonna die in combat. This is great. Nope, can't do this. So, but yeah.
I skipped the first one. I saw it and I was like, yeah, this is interesting, but I don't know. It just seemed like at the time there was like a lot of other games I wanted to play. I think that's always the case.
Yeah,
and then
it's the same.
Here at least, but this is just. It looks like a modern Skyrim in terms of like an open world game, and
yeah, and
it's like not high.
I was like, it was choice based, and the other thing was like you had to like learn the language of the enemies around you, like through reading books and stuff, to actually understand them eventually. I don't remember how long it takes, but that was a thing.
Oh
'cause
yeah, I
you
heard
obviously.
like you have to like grind the skills in general, like
Mhm.
for weapons, crafting or anything. Like you just have to continue doing it until you master it.
Yeah, that's what I do remember. And I do remember them also saying it. The languages was one thing that you had to make sure that, to learn, basically. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. Let's see. Key goes into the
What I
third
did
one.
find interesting is if you commit a crime in the game, instead of like everybody just going after you, you can try to justify your way out of the crime.
That is true.
It's like an actual role-playing game. Because in, like a Skyrim, it's like if you kill someone, the whole village is just against you at that point, and unless they like.
No, you don't have to kill somebody. You just gotta accidentally shoot a chicken in somebody's view.
Yeah, that too. And then, the
Or in some cases, across the map by accident, and then you have a bounty on your head. 'Cause I think I've seen that and or done that.
In a Bethesda game, it's not so bad, but like I remember doing that in Divinity, and it's the biggest pain in the world.
Oh, in
Because it's like
Divinity
you-
Original Sin.
Yeah, 1 and 2. Like anytime, like I'm trying, like most of the time it happens when I'm trying to steal something. Because I love like being a stealth character in those games and then just stealing it, like going to houses and then stealing all the artwork.
Yes.
But like, if you get caught, it's like the whole village is against you. And you have to wait for everyone to, make their turn.
Oh,
before you
yeah,
can
to do
leave.
the turns, unless they're. Well, that was Divinity, because Baldur's Gate doesn't do that from what I remember. Because Baldur's Gate, it's based on like who's next to you, basically. So that
Yeah,
was nice.
It's more.
Kind of realistic, I guess. I think, well, Divinity too, but Divinity had a bigger range to drag everybody to you, was the main issue.
Yeah.
And I still need to beat Divinity 2 too, now that you reminded me. Gosh dang it. I played it.
I really liked it.
Oh, I love that one and Baldur's
thing
before Baldur's Gate.
The only thing I didn't like about it was the what is it called? What's it called? Not the magic. I guess it's like sort of a magic system. that
Oh,
they
you're
have.
talking about the
You know what I'm talking about, right?
the like, it's like the curse basically, but it's not a curse. Like
Yeah.
what the people deem it a
Well, that-
curse, but it's not. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, I hated that. What is
You-
it called? Let me look.
You talking about the charges that you needed to use certain spells because it would
Right,
require
right,
you to like
yeah.
have that. Yeah. You can charge. I remember you can increase. I don't remember how you. Oh, you got to kill other sorcerers. Sorcery. That's what it's called. Source. It's just called Source.
Oh yeah, it was called Source. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
I fucking
that's
hated
what they
that
were
shit.
called. But it was
Only
like
thing I didn't like-
SOURSC. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing I don't like about the game. Everything else I would have said like, oh yeah, that's Divinity 1 and 2 is better than Baldur's Gate. But it's just a freaking Source, so I was just like, I fucking hate this. If they
I mean,
just-
it was nice
next
to be like a scary, all-powerful sorcerer, but yeah, some of those abilities were not as fun as they could have been, even for costing sorcery points.
But one thing I did like about it was like how you can like change the environments and to your benefit, or sometimes the enemies will do it against you, and they just like no game really does that where we're just trying to buff and debuff. Like the whole game was about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've well, I was gonna say my entire run with Divinity Original Sin 1, since we were playing on Tactician difficulty, was start a giant bridge of fire, unless it was a fire elemental, and just have them walk towards me the entire time, because some of those enemies were impossible to kill otherwise. I'm not good at. I don't think I was ever good at what other people do, like in Baldur's Gate 3, where they suddenly create a character that can basically like 200 health an enemy instantly. Yeah, I could not do that in Divinity either, but I know there's ways to do it too, based on their the rules of the game. But yeah, a lot of me in the first game was basically just either Hellfire Pits, or actually that's part 2. So in the new one, it's been Hellfire Pits. But then there's also like Void Fire corrupted pit, so that's bad because I've done that a few times and almost killed myself. Oh man, I just remembered all the different combos. Yeah, that's gonna be a game. So originally I was playing it when it first came out a long time ago with I think my Canadian girlfriend. So that's like 7 years ago now. And then, or whenever it came out. And then I recently played it with my buddy who went to the military, and we got to the same place. It was the Demon Island.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm back on the. I got to the.
Like the hole.
Yeah, I'm back on the Demon
Oh, yeah,
Island
that's
again.
So painful. That's like the most painful part of the game. Yeah.
Yep,
It's
and
like you're
I
playing tactics.
yeah, and I'm trying to kill him because obviously they're demons. And it does not go well.
Yeah, and then you're stuck there.
Yep.
It's easy to get stuck too.
So we were working on that. We definitely had it because it's the dogs. They summon those like ankle biting dogs, the hellhounds or whatever. And if you pull them far enough out to like the ocean in the back, you can make them take long enough to where they don't get there to kill you before you kill like one of the main people that's super strong. So I remember like trying to bait people and do that, but yeah, I just need. That's gonna be a while.
It's a long time.
Yeah. I might as well go play it. I have the save anyway. Since I'm the one that made I should just play it solo and be like, yeah, I beat it. Sorry. Couldn't wait.
Yeah, it's supposed to end too.
Yeah. It's not a lot. I know there's like 4 chapters. And I remember when they made it, they were like promising every character's like backstory would come into play and have like a different. And you're basically fighting each other the entire time too for who's going to be the Godwoken or whatever. In the end, secretly or not, you can work against your own gods with each other somehow. Even though
the backstory unless like you make custom characters, right?
Yeah, everybody has their own backstory unless you make a custom character. That's what I think I'm playing. Shoot, who am I playing? There is like a sort of backstory for the custom characters, but it's like a generic one. Like, oh, you're the Godwoken. Cool.
Wow.
Yeah. But I was playing, I think, the elf. I forgot her name. The like female elf that is like a criminal for some reason. But it was nice. The only reason I wanted to play elf is because of the flesh eating, so because they get memories that other people can't get for the cannibalism. So that was my main thing. I was like, yeah, I want to be able to sort of be a scoundrel / detective. Crown. So that was a good game. Man, Then I beat Baldur's Gate 3 before I beat Divinity Original Sin 2. That is blasphemy. I've definitely owned DOS 2 for so much longer.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 is a longer game, but Divinity is a tougher game.
Yeah.
Because Baldur's Gate is like much faster, and I think the battles are just easier.
I'll definitely need to.
I mean, also like it gives me.
I was gonna say I died to like a crab originally in Baldur's Gate. I mean, not Baldur's Gate, Divinity Original Sin 2. That first like crab in the tutorial area.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't really hold your hand on what to do. Like,
no.
Time to.
I played it in early access, so I got to see how it changed too, which was interesting.
No,
yeah.
I played the build.
Yeah, I played the early access. I was in there whenever they.
But it was like the definitive edition, and then Original Sin 2, I played it whenever it came out on the PS4.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, because they ported it over finally whenever it came out. I own it on GOG.com on at DRM free. That's what I was remembering. And I remember it took because once it released on Steam, it was so hard to keep the editions the same basically between me and my friends because Steam would update way faster than the version would update on GOG. But you can still play together because it has a direct connect. So, I do remember that. Yeah, I'll need to get back into that. I think I'm just gonna go through it solo, or maybe I'll invite my wife to play that one with me since she wants to play Baldur's Gate 3 too. But I'm more of a if we play Baldur's Gate 3, just realize it's gonna be about 120 hours worth of game time. So, at at a minimum, maybe.
Yeah, it's very long. I think
Yeah.
my playtime was not there.
Yeah, and it's also if you have to like keep reloading saves because you keep failing fights, that's also the issue. Because then you keep doing the same thing over and over again, so there's technically more playtime that's just not accounted for because you just keep reloading to fight the same fight. Was my issue.
Mhm.
And well, originally it was also just being frustrated that it wouldn't let me do certain things. I had to Google to make sure that it wasn't a bug, but there was a character I wanted to save in Baldur's Gate 3 that it wouldn't let me, and I Googled it and it's like, no, you can't do that unless you do this, and I was kind of annoyed because I was like, I didn't. Say again?
Was it Asteron or Astalon?
Not Asterion, no. That fight was, there's ways to beat it, but the way that I beat it was not the way that everybody else made it seem so easily. No, it was the father of, what's his name? The Duke Ravengard? That's not his name, but that's his father.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, now I know. Yeah.
Yeah, Duke Ravengard, the father of, oh man, what's his name? The Sword of the Coast? Why do I know him by that? The Sword of the Coast, the Blade of Sword Coast? Oh yeah, something like that. I can't remember his name. What the heck? The one that like becomes a demon.
Yeah.
Partially. Yeah, he's hunting Karlach. Oh my gosh, I can't remember his name. This is so stupid. Yeah.
I didn't do much of. I didn't interact with him much.
Yeah, I wanted to save his father from Mizora without talking to her, and apparently you can't. The game will just glitch and kill him, basically, even though you didn't talk to Mizora and like about his deal or whatever. And I was like, that's so stupid. What if we just didn't talk to her? What got him out anyway? Then what does she have leverage-wise? Like, I was like, okay, this is dumb. But you can still save him either way. You just that's what I googled, and I was like, I'm so annoyed that it didn't let me do it the way that I wanted to do, so I just quit. Essentially. But I went back to it after they patched it for the final patch, you know, several months/years later, and I finally beat it recently. So I was like, okay, I'm happy with my ending. I felt like my ending overall was pretty good compared to what it could have been. So that was nice. I did like how easy the final boss fight was, technically, once you get to it. Especially if you have a globe of invulnerability. So. Also,
Act 2 was area, like in between the 3 acts.
No, Baldur's Gate 3 was so big, but because you could go through like the beginning area with the city, like the smaller city area, and the clown troop, and then the underground and the sewers, and then the overground and the underbelly, and like the blood pit area. I don't remember what that was called. I think they might have been comparative though, because I think you're like Area 1 was pretty big too, because of the underground and like the temple of the. Well, that's the second. Is the second area the temple? No, what's the second area?
It was like it was infected, or what was?
Oh, it was the dark forest. Yeah, the plague, like it's not dark, the cursed forest or whatever of or cursed tower, moon tower. Yeah. Honestly, no, I think that one also had an extra area because you went into the tomb crypt and you ended up finding out what needed to be done for Night Song finally. Even though it mentioned Night Song in Chapter 1, I remember looking for Night Song a little bit longer than I should have in Act 1 until I googled it, that it was like, oh no, it's in the next area. They don't mention it because why? And they fixed it later on to clarify that it went to the next area, and I was like, that's so dumb. Man, no, you're right. Those areas were all at least 40 hours each. Almost.
Yeah.
Because if you divide it into 3, yeah, that's about it. And it really just depends on how long you take, and also if you just had to go murder Hobo and kill everybody, because it could take longer if you just killed every single person.
Yeah. Or you could just skip around. You don't need to like see the whole map. But
I couldn't do that. That's what took me so long. I kept backtracking and like making sure I didn't forget anything. Which I still didn't get. Was it Aura, the little girl whose family has like she becomes some sort of like mage? I don't remember. Azora? Was that her name? Azura?
Doesn't ring a
But-
bell.
There's, you know how you have all those companions that can join you based on your deeds at the end?
Yeah.
Well, they were one of those characters basically, and I guess I played early enough in the builds to where they broke before when I came back, even though they had fixed the issue. And so they never actually joined me at the end. And they were supposed to give you a freedom of movement perk, so you couldn't get caught by the tentacles that come out of the brain, which would have been really nice. But they didn't actually appear for me, so that was unfortunate.
Was it
But,
Minthara?
No, not Minthara. Which, that also made me upset that you could save Minthara after like a few patches. Because I tried to knock her out originally and do the same thing everybody else basically felt like you should be able to do, and it wasn't actually a thing that you could do originally, and then they added it in later. I was like, you're kidding me, you monsters, I'm already in Act 3. So, I'll definitely do that this time though, now if I play with my wife. Knock out Minthara and take them to join us. I feel cheated. They added a lot of stuff after the fact too, even like missing dialogue and some characters I know, and some options that weren't available, as well as just like tweaks. And then the mods that people made, now you can go to like level 20 and get actual level 20 spells and all, and they added other starting spells that didn't exist. Yeah.
Oh damn, I didn't know that. So like it's fully like up to standards now. Because what was the level 12 at the time?
So the base game is level 12, but you can mod it to go to level 20, and people, because the whole yeah,
They update it to level 20.
no, and I reached level 12 by like the end of chapter 2, so I was kind of like, this sucks because I'm fighting everything and none of it is giving me experience anymore. Yeah. So I should have done the mod for like level 20, to be honest, because yeah, there's people that added in levels 13 through 20, as well as the ability to get all the spells from level 13 to 20. And I think there's technically mods that go, but I've seen people like in the servers, it says like level 40, and I'm like, what kind of grand adventure are you on? Jeez.
Oh, speaking of which, I think I know who you're talking about now. You were talking about Will earlier, with his father.
Oh, Will, yes, WYLL. I don't know why I couldn't remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
who
don't
it
have him
was.
in my party.
I had everybody except Minthara.
I made sure to get Hero and Mint into my party just because they were in the first 2 games.
Yeah. This thing's gonna kill me.
Well, I'm gonna go to sleep now.
Yeah, no worries. Good talk. Appreciate it. That was fun.
Yeah. Just-
Okay, now that I gotta figure out how to kill this. Let's see. Without it killing me. Almost killed me. Oh, that's why you're threat level 2, I see. Almost like a boss. Time is it? I guess I should call it here, actually. This would be a good stopping point. Well, it's been fun. I had a good time talking and gaming as best as could. And I guess until next time. Because I definitely am trying to beat this. And then probably move on to Hollow Knight Silk Song, and then, I guess, I don't know, Dying Light or something after that, because there's too many games coming out so fast. In the same time span, but I'm gonna keep at it. I'm just chopping away at them bit by bit. Alright. Have a good one.